So we're here on Japan Airlines 787 in their older Sky Suites business class, and this product is pretty old, but is it still worth it?
Today I'm sharing an experience flying Japan Airlines business class on their 787-9 from LAX to Narita, Tokyo. This flight features their older Sky Suite product, which is currently their oldest international business class offering. So let's dive into the details of this journey, from the seat setup to the service and the food. The cabin's 222 configuration is unusual for a business class product, but it's designed to ensure every passenger has aisle access. I chose the seat closer to the aisle while my sister took the window seat. Her spot is more private with access to multiple windows and minimal foot traffic. My seat, on the other hand, was a bit more exposed to the aisle, but I didn't mind since it's our first time flying Japan Airlines business class, and this is my second time flying Japan Airlines business class. The seats are arranged in a staggered setup, with some passengers getting full window access while others get none at all. There's a partition between the seats that add privacy, but it must be lowered during takeoff and landing, and then when the partition is down, it can feel a bit awkward if you're seated next to a stranger. You can see them typing on their phone or moving around. However, when the partition is up, the privacy is pretty solid. The seat itself is a straightforward rectangle shape with a TV directly in front of you and a footrest right below that. The side pocket flips down and can be adjusted forward and backwards, and it could be also pushed to the side for easier aisle access. Overall, the seat does have very functional design, though it's clear that it's an older product.
To give you a little bit of a seat tour, there's the remote control over here that comes out, and that controls the TV screen. I thought the TV screen was touch, but it's not touch. You have to control everything via this remote. The system is really showing its age. It's pretty old, and it's really slow and sometimes not responsive. Seat controls are here, and then outlet pods are over here. Over here on the left, there's like a gummy hole here. There's a pillow. We're given a pillow. This pillow's really lumpy though. Not exactly the most luxurious pillow. Pocket over here, there's also in-flight Wi-Fi information and all the literature stuff.
The amenities kit is pretty standard, except it included this phone holder, something I initially thought my sister had brought herself, but she didn't. The holder folds flat and then it pops up to hold up your phone, which is a clever addition, and the kit also had the usual essentials like eye mask, earplugs, and other small comforts. One standout feature was the availability of free Wi-Fi, but only for the first hour. After that, you could purchase additional time, 14 hours for 3 hours, or 19 hours for the entire flight. The connection was pretty stable, and $19 for an entire 9 to 10 hour flight seems somewhat reasonable.
So this is what the menu looks like, and there's the option of the Japanese cuisine or the international cuisine, and definitely go with the Japanese cuisine. The Japanese food on Japan Airlines is always better than the international cuisine, and the Japanese cuisine is always really pretty as well, so I'm looking forward to getting that. The international cuisine, the main dish today is the prime beef tenderloin or the Chilean sea bass, which, I don't know, fish on a plane, and then steaks are never really executed well on a plane. So that's why I'm going with the Japanese cuisine. And then there's also an a la carte snack menu as well. And there's a Japan Airlines special tonkotsu flavored miso ramen noodle, which I'm most definitely going to be getting. Always try the ramen on an Asian carrier.
Japan Airlines is known for impeccable service, and this flight was no exception. Shortly after takeoff, the crew handed out menus and the meal service began. The food was the highlight of the experience, as it is often with these Japanese carriers. The meal started with olives, not my favorite, and a mix of pecan, peanuts, and almonds. I opted for the Japanese whiskey, which was a generous pour. I totally forgot what Japanese whiskey was being served, but it was pretty solid, and my sister chose the Japanese meal option as well as I did, which was beautifully presented, and the iconic plastic crane that doubles as a chopstick holder, which is a nice touch. Both functional and a great souvenir, though I always forget to take one home. The main course features a chicken thigh and some salmon and a mix of vegetables, but the real star was the rice. It's wrapped in paper, it's warm, it's perfectly textured, and some of the best rice I have ever had. Dessert was this fruit tart, which was equally satisfying, and overall the food was consistent with Japan Airlines' reputation for quality. A few hours later, you have the option to pick from the a la carte menu, which I chose the ramen, and it was beautifully plated plated, and it didn't feel like it was instant noodles. A super comforting mid-flight snack that added to the overall dining experience.
The ramen is really good. It's quite different. It's not the ramen that I was expecting. When they usually serve ramen on a plane, they usually plate it nicely, whereas this one, it tastes really close to standard tonkotsu ramen. It's really rich and creamy broth. It does have a strong pork flavor and smell to it, so if you don't like that, then you probably won't like this ramen. I do like it, and the noodles were really nice as well.
And for a quick bathroom tour, the bathrooms were always clean the entire flight. There's not a drop of water on the floor, and then the amenities on the counter were always well stocked and organized. Of course, this is a Japanese carrier, so there's a bidet for the toilet. Stepping back out into the galley, there's a little snack basket, and there's a variety of different snacks, and what I found surprising was that there was dried squid as a snack option, which I've never seen on a plane before. I'm pretty surprised that there's dried squid, because dried squid is usually kind of stinky, and obviously on a plane, you don't want to be eating stinky food.
So we have about 2 hours before we land, and they're serving our last meal service. It's not an actual full meal service. It's anything you want to get off the a la carte menu. And so this time I got the Japanese plate instead of the ramen. So there's the Western international option. There's the Japanese plate, which is I got here, and there's also the ramen option as well. Didn't want to eat ramen again, so gonna try the Japanese plate this time. The plate again comes with some rice, some cod, tamago, and there's also a miso soup and some pickled vegetables.
So whether you love or hate the Japan Airlines older business class product, there's one thing that's clear. Finding award availability for Japan Airlines business class can be incredibly tough. This makes it hard to pick and choose the exact product or the route that you want, especially if you're using credit card points. So here's the thing, Japan Airlines has both older and newer business class products, but the newer ones are only available on select routes. And the real issue is that award availability is so scarce. Often you're left booking whatever pops up, even if it's not your first choice, even if it's not the new business class product, you kind of have to settle for whatever is available. And while the older business class product I flew wasn't the most luxurious, it's still a solid option. At the end of the day, you're flying business class to Japan, and that's something just to be grateful for. I booked my flight using British Airways Avios, and for the one-way ticket from LAX to Tokyo, it was around 71,000 Avios plus around $250 to $300 in taxes and fees. At that time, there was also a transfer bonus as well, so it was even less than 71,000 points. But here's a maximizing tip. While British Airways Avios is a solid option, there are better ways to book Japan Airlines business class, and that's through Cathay Pacific Asia Miles. Yes, it's gonna cost more through Cathay Pacific Asia Miles. It's 89,000 points one way, but the award availability is much more consistent. Cathay Pacific releases Japan Airlines award seat 360 days in advance. So if you can plan that far ahead, you're in a great position to lock in business class seats really early on in the schedule, even before British Airways is able to see that award availability. If you plan on booking Japan Airlines business class using credit card points, what I recommend is plan ahead. Award availability is released 360 days in advance, so start looking super early. Use Cathay Pacific Asia Miles. While it might cost more, the availability is more consistent if you can plan far in advance, and be flexible. If you can't find award availability on your preferred dates, consider adjusting your travel plans and book as soon as you find award availability, because award availability seats can disappear extremely quickly. This is my second time flying Japan Airlines business class on the 787 Sky Suite. While the product is older, I still had a great experience. The seat's comfortable and the food is delicious and the service is impeccable. Sure, I'd love to try their new business class product, but I'm not complaining. Flying business class to Japan is a treat no matter which product you're on, because those Asian carriers are so much better than some of the domestic carriers here in the US. I'll put some more videos that are Japan related on the screen here with more strategies on how to maximize your points to get to Japan. Remember to like and subscribe button down below, and let me know what you think of Japan Airlines' older business class product, and if you've flown it before, I would like to hear what you think about it. So thanks for watching this far, and I'll see you guys in the next one.